Вот он лежит, блядь. Осколок.
The attack on the Russian Sverdlov plant in Dzerzhinsk was confirmed by Ukrainian SBU sources. Drones struck the enterprise, which produces explosives, shells, bombs, and warheads for the war against Ukraine. The plant was already under EU and US sanctions. Also, according to the available information, guided bombs were stored on the plant's territory. The facility was attacked using several dozen Ukrainian-made attack drones. The distance to the target from the state border of Ukraine is about 900 kilometers, the special services said. According to reports in Russian Telegram channels, the explosions in the Sverdlov state-owned enterprise area occurred around 4 a.m. Soon after, local authorities announced an attempt by Russian air defense to repel a kamikaze drone attack. After the explosions, a column of thick smoke appeared over the territory of the facility, the intelligence service emphasized. They also noted that the attacked plant is one of Russia's largest manufacturers of industrial explosives, transfer charges for the mining industry, perforating charges for the oil and gas industry, and seismic and geophysical work. In addition, Ukraine sanctioned him for supporting actions that undermine or threaten the territorial integrity, sovereignty, and independence of Ukraine.
Вот он лежит, блядь. Осколок.
Tankers from the 58th Brigade are firing at Russian positions at close range near Urozhain. We have to admit that lately we don't often see Ukrainian tanks in action. We mostly see the action of drones and artillery. The reason is probably the defensive nature of Ukrainian operations in most of the country in the last year, but also the careful Ukrainian strategy in which tanks do not take risks when they do not have adequate protection. In this case, it is clear that the Russians do not have any anti-tank protection on this part of the front, and that is why the Ukrainian tanks operate unhindered. Russian forces attempted to seize the Oskol crossing and split the Ukrainian armed forces' foothold on the left bank. The assault was repelled by joint efforts of the Achilles Strike UAV Battalion, the Buravy Brigade, Pomsta Border Guards, and the 77th Airborne Brigade. In total, 8 BMPs, 3 tanks were destroyed, 6 BMPs damaged, 21 Russians eliminated, and 26 wounded. Russians are not stopping the attempts to break through. This one was in the direction of the crossing of the Oskol River in the area of Senkove village. We see that the Russians attack again in a column across an open field, without demining the terrain, without air support, without artillery and infantry support. They just send an armored formation to attack without any protection. It is difficult to find military logic in this senseless tactic. We know that lives are worthless for Russian generals, but we sometimes wonder, isn't Putin himself watching these same scenes? If he doesn't care about the lives of his fellow citizens, doesn't he have a problem recruiting new livestock? That is why we think that the Russian military machinery is so corrupt that they simply cannot change things. They are zombies who look at things but cannot change them because the system is rotten to the core. We know that in such a case, the only solution is to dismantle the entire system and build a new structure. This is the path that Russia is taking towards its inevitable disintegration. Back in 2005, Yuri Levada, a well-known Russian sociologist, political scientist, and the founder of the Levada Center, said, "The authorities need people to feel danger from all sides, and this requires constant mobilization readiness. Scary authorities need frightened people. They are easier to rule."
Дело в том, что той власти, которая у нас сейчас сложилась, На самом деле это убаюкивание опасно. Ей нужна тревога. Ей нужно, чтобы люди чувствовали опасность со всех сторон. А если их нет, то это ощущение опасности раздувается.
А зачем это нужно?
А потому что тогда люди готовы терпеть все и готовы поддерживать некоторые, ну скажем так, ненормальные акции и ненормальные свойства власти. Их тогда можно дергать, тогда можно спокойную жизнь подменять произволом. А для этого нужна постоянная мобилизационная готовность. Страшные власти нуждаются в испуганном народе. Им управлять проще. Он с перепугу еще меньше разбирается, чем народ спокойный. Хотя спокойный тоже не всегда разбирается. Поэтому нас пугают. Пугают злодеями, вражескими, окружающими, близкими, внутренними. И будут делать, потому что на носу новый приход и некоторая новая определенность.
Lavrov said Russia wants Ukraine outside NATO, with a neutral status, and without the West using Ukraine to create direct threats to the Russian Federation, aka no weapons for Ukraine.
Our position is clear. No joining NATO, neutral status, addressing the issues faced by Russian-speaking and Russian populations, as it was a blatant violation of the UN Charter and numerous conventions, depriving them of the right to do anything in their native language. The Ukrainian Orthodox Church is being destroyed, also in violation of the UN Charter and numerous conventions. And certainly, Ukraine, we will not accept any scenario where Ukraine retains the capability to be used by the West to create direct threats to the Russian Federation.
We support Ukraine on its irreversible path to full Euro-Atlantic integration, including NATO membership, minus joint statement of the defense ministers of the G7 countries. We believe that Russia's aggression against Ukraine is posing a threat to international security. The purposes and principles of the UN Charter and the rules-based international order is another point in the statement. I'm glad there is unity on that. Looking forward to decisive actions from the international community to respond to the global threat Russia is.
Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe. Also, if you want to support Warthog Defense, please become our member and get early access to new videos, exclusive members-only videos, and become administrator in comments section. The membership link is in the description.
Every day. We had a guy last week, it's 6 rescues in 6 days. You know, he's doing the job every day.